How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to some more Link to the Past. In today's video, as you can see here, we're going to be doing the Lumberjacks Riddle Quest, which will give us a few nice rewards. There's only one useful one, but we get some kind of fun little statues from doing the quest as well, which I will show later on in the video. The main thing that we're going to be getting is the Hurricane Spin. I believe that's what it's called in this game. Maybe Great Spin, but it is pretty similar to what you'd expect from a Hurricane Spin or Great Spin in a Zelda game. Just twirls you around like a bajillion times, and it's great for taking out hordes and whatnot. Not that there really is too many hordes in the game, but say you're like in the Ice Palace or something, and you're trying to deal with those weird duck creatures, you could just spin right into them and take them all out. So not too much post-game stuff that we'll use it on, but there is one more video coming out for the game that I think I should have up on Wednesday, and that'll be the final dungeon of the game, which is the Palace of the Fourth Sword, which I'm very terrified for because I've never gone through it before. But either way, there's going to be a video on Wednesday. Might not be a pretty video, but a video. So first thing for the riddle, it is going to be the little cock-a-doodle-doo thing, and you probably already guessed what that is. That is going to be the chicken. And what we have to do for the chicken is we actually have to catch it in our bug, excuse me, our bug catching. I'm getting some acid reflux going on. It's unpleasant. But that's what our whole basket's there for. And you actually keep the basket after this quest, so you'll always have that sitting in the corner of your inventory. I guess it's nice that it's full, but you know, maybe they could have given us, like, I don't know, a cool hat or something. But either way, excuse me, acid reflux is just horrendous. But anyways, there's 10 riddles that we have to solve. They're fairly easy. Like, the only one I had trouble with was something to do with powder. It comes up, I think, is the third or fourth one, maybe the fifth one, but you'll see. And I did cut around that part because I gave him the wrong thing. But throughout the whole little riddle sequence, we will be getting certain statues, and these are going to be wood carving statues that appear in Link's house, and you can actually throw magic powder on them, and the first time you throw magic powder on them, they'll just change their color. But the second time you do so, they will actually change their form. So with Link, it'll turn into Bunny Link. With Kuko, it'll turn into a skeleton Kuko. And with Zelda, it'll turn her into an old lady. Which I don't know how that last one works, but it does. So it's just, I don't know, a nice little thank you for beating the post-game stuff, you know? For beating the Palace of the Fourth Sword, though, I don't know what we get for doing that. We're gonna find out, but I really don't know. Probably something semi-neat. I mean, it's clearly not gonna be any sort of gameplay addition, but maybe the experience is gonna be the reward, because I've always wanted to go through. And the funny enough thing is that when I was playing this on the GBA back in the day, I managed to get to the 10 Marls of Courage by myself. I think just by playing the Ice Cavern thingy over and over, which is what I did on here. First 5 medals I did with Cody, and shout out to Cody for helping me out with this. But the last 5 I did last night, and I got 5 more Marbles of Courage doing that whole little Ice Cavern, which is not really difficult. It's just mainly getting through the levels by yourself that's a little bit difficult, because you have to use 2 different switches. So you gotta, I don't know, I guess be coordinated, as coordinated as you can be. And for this next riddle, you have to find something red that's shiny. So my thought process was to look for one of those 8 things and wait for one of them to shine, and then just keep hitting them until I get a red rupee, which is 20 rupees. So it didn't take me too long, thankfully. It's just going to be a little bit of lawn mowing here. and me getting bullied by the guard, which is alright. Because it improves Link's discipline, I suppose. And I don't know what those things are. They look like evil birds. But I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks they're bumblebees, but I know they're not bumblebees. They're just weird-looking birds that want to kill Link for some reason. Just like everything else in this game. It's so weird there's not very many friendly creatures in Hyrule. Everything is just all out to kill you. Whereas Link's not really doing anything wrong. He's just minding his own business, and then Octoroks are trying to kill him, soldiers are trying to kill him, but soldiers, they have a pass because they're brainwashed, but everything else just wanting to kill him, it's unnecessary. Very unnecessary. Especially the Zoras, or... Is this the game where they called them Zolas, or whatever? I think that's Zelda 1. I don't understand why the Zoras are hostile to him in this game. I guess they weren't really... excuse me. They weren't really friendly with him yet, but here's going to be our red rupee. And I think that the only thing your net can pick up is the red rupee, because you'll see here that there's some rupees on top of it, but the net doesn't actually pick it up. So I think that the red one's the only one that you can actually catch. Which is good, because if I could catch other things, then I might not have completed this quest so quickly as I did. Another thing that I do want to say, I appreciate this game post-game, because not only do you have this Riddle Quest, but you also have the Palace of the Four Sword, and that's a whole new dungeon that you have, and I don't really think too many Zelda games actually like give you a whole dungeon at the end of the game. So it's really cool, just that they included this in Link to the Past for the GBA. I'm a little curious what the thought process was. I suppose it's just maybe trying to think of a reward for actually beating Four Swords, because I imagine the number of people that have beaten Four Swords to completion, like getting the 10 Medals of Courage, and even beating Vati's Palace, I can't imagine that's very high. And I imagine it's not very high that people actually did the hard mode options either. And the thing you said there, that it's fresh and moist, the only thing in this game that's really fresh and moist is going to be a fish. And I do like this riddle sequence because it makes you kind of think outside the box, but at the same time it's not too obvious, but then it's still like, you can kind of get what they're doing at, you know? So I think that's pretty cool. Just the whole riddle minigame thingy that we're going through. It's a little weird that we've never really seen this again. We've seen trade sequences again, but never a riddle sequence. But who knows, perhaps one day we'll get another one. And I think there's something else you can do with the fish. I'm pretty sure you can sell it to the guy in Kakariko Village. But it's so far away, and I don't know why that's like the only thing you can sell to him. I mean, you might be able to sell more stuff, but as far as I know, the fish is the only thing. Only thing that I've ever seen. I've never actually tried it, just from watching videos on the matter. But maybe you can sell like pots and bushes to him, I don't know. Or maybe a chicken, that'd be funny. But it is very sad that this game is almost over. Just one more video after this, and then whatever the next Zelda game that gets voted for most is what I'm gonna play. Might be Phantom Hourglass. I'm kind of hoping it's Phantom Hourglass, because I really like that one, but if people want to see Link Between Worlds come back for the remade version, then I'll do so, because I really like that game. My first playthrough of it was just a little rough, so it's gotta be fixed, you know? Because I didn't even 100% that one, and it was a mess. Like, Ocarina of Time was my first playthrough on the channel, but I feel like that one was better than Link Between Worlds, whereas A Link Between Worlds just kind of felt rushed and everything, and I was never really happy with it. Like, even from the get-go, it felt very poor, in my opinion, so hoping to come back to that one at some point. Maybe this year, maybe next year. We'll just see how the videos go. So we're pretty close to being finished with the trade sequence, or riddle sequence. A thing to just, you've probably noticed by watching the video, having your ocarina out is just going to make this a whole lot faster, just by the fast travel to Kakariko, as well as to any locations that you might have to go to pick up the items for the riddles. Two of the items are going to be in the Lost Woods yet. One of the items is going to be by the Witch's Hut, And I think that may be it. I might be forgetting one or two, but we're pretty close to being done. So sprinkle and watch it wobble. Now, for this one, you might think that it's those little buzz blob things. Well, you'd be wrong, because it's not them. It's actually an Octorok that you have to use magic powder on, which I did not know. I tried it on a soldier, because I figured that might work as well, because there's something in the walkthrough that said it would. But then I was like, what? This isn't working. So then I had to find my way, sprinkle on enemies, until I eventually got the Octorok, and that turned into a slime. Otherwise, I was just going to head to the Ice Palace and pick one up in there, like those green ones. But I don't know if that would have counted. I don't know if those are counted as slimes or not. So I don't really know. But thankfully, I figured her out, and the video can still continue. So it munches on nuts. Now, this one was a little weird because the only thing in this game that's like munching on nuts or would munch on nuts is in the Lost Woods. And that's a squirrel. So we actually get to go back to where the Master Sword was and pick up a squirrel, because that's the only spot in the game where you're going to be able to do so. Now, I think that was a really strange choice to have us kidnap a squirrel, but we're just gonna pretend it doesn't happen, you know? It is what it is. And I unfortunately lost some of my goodies to this guy, but he probably needs it more than I do, so we just let him have it. And another thing that I did want to say, at the end of this video, since I did miss a map in the Palace of Darkness, I will just quickly show that at the end of the video, in case anyone's curious, because this is 100% Let's Play, and I did not get the map, so I must fulfill my duty of getting that map. And as far as I know, I think that's the only map that I missed in the game, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to check after this video, but I think it's the only thing I've missed, so should be Gucci there. And then your flute won't work in this back area, but as soon as you're back in the Lost Woods, it will. But it's really not worth it to call, because then you're going to have to go to Kakariko Village, and I realized that was kind of a mistake to call it there, so we won't do so. I just wanted to avoid the thief, but, you know, maybe the thief needs to avoid me, just to be a little bit safer on his end. So our next item is going to be the fake Master Sword. And I originally thought the Master Swords, like the fake ones, disappeared as soon as you got the regular Master Sword, but apparently that's not the case. So we get to pick up a fake Master Sword. Now, as for who put the fake Master Swords out in the Lost Woods, I'm assuming it was those thieves out there, or thieves. Because who else would do so? Trying to lure people in the woods, and then like they pull up the fake Master Swords, have them show up in the grounds, and then you're like, oh, it's a Master Sword. But no, it is not a Master Sword, and the thief has got you, and he's going to take your crap, so you can just easily swipe this one by going off the top of the screen to avoid him. But yeah, I don't like those thieves. I don't like that you can't attack them, and I don't like their Dark World variants either, those weird raccoon thingies, or armadillos, whatever they are. Someone in my comments on the YouTube short that I did of the armadillo dancing, whatever it is, said it looks like an armadillo, so I'm going to go with saying it's an armadillo. So Red and Sweet. Now, this one's, excuse me, a bit tricky, because Red and Sweet, so that clearly means food, and the only food in this game is really the fish, as well as apples. Now, apples are a little bit hard to come by, or so I thought. I believe that apples, or everything in the trees, I think is RNG based for the most part, However, there's some that have just set items, like the one on the screen below where I had all the bees coming out. I believe that one is set to bees, and then there's another one, which you'll see as soon as I stop running into other trees, that contains apples, because, I mean, apples come from trees, you know that. And I was like, where are these apples going to be? Because it's not like a Link Between Worlds where the apples will show up on the trees, right? So, I could try these ones, but this one here, from what I saw, it always contains apples. So, that's where you get your apples from. And then I think if you eat it normally, it just restores 1 heart. So, I don't know, a little weird thing that they included apples in this game. But, you know, whatever floats their boat. And this is our final riddle. And this is where we get those little weird cucumber dudes. Which, I don't know, some of this, like, what's he asking for all this stuff for? Is he gonna, like, I don't know, harvest the organs of everything or something? Because we gave him a chicken, and that was someone else's chicken, so I don't know, maybe that was a bad idea to give them the chicken? I don't know, hopefully it wasn't. We're just gonna assume that he has good intentions, but he's not gonna tell us what they're for. We'll just leave it at that. So once we head up back to the Lumberjack's place, we're gonna get our good old reward, which it's, I guess it's just something that he whispers to Link. And then that's how Link learns how to do so. I don't really know how sword techniques are passed down in Zelda games. I mean, in Twilight Princess, Link learns the techniques just by doing them, like, once, but I don't know. He's got some sort of intersect memory going on or something. Or he's like Sora, where he can just adapt to everything. And the reason I kept pausing there is because I was looking at the basket. You could see what's in your basket, which I was like, that looks way different than how it normally is. So now we have the good old Hurricane Spin, which is very, very, very cool. Because Link keeps going, yeah, 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 yeah. It's funny. But then our other reward that we got, well, first I show off the Hurricane Spin, just so you know. So very efficient for just cutting all the grass down or slicing through enemies, whatever floats your boat. Our next reward is going to be in Link's house, which I think this is only the second game where Link actually gets rewards in his house, because you get the cow in Ocarina of Time, but in this game you get statues. And I think we have to spray the magic powder on them either once after or twice after throwing them, I think. And then first time for Link, he gets the red tunic, and I think that's always going to be the red tunic no matter what you're wearing. And then we got Zelda and the Kuko, but a weird thing for Link that I was saying earlier in the video, he has the red tunic in his bunny form, and I don't know why that is. Because every time when you have that little yellow thing that turns you into a bunny in the dungeons, it'll always put you in the green tunic, so I don't know, like, why here he has the red tunic as Bunny Link. I just always found that a little strange. But that is gonna do it for this video. Next video is going to be the Palace of the Four Swords. Hopefully things go well there, and the video will come out on Wednesday. That is gonna do it for this video, and I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.